Hello, friends. Judy, Herman here. I want to share with you three things that I have learned after 40 years of marital experiences, personally, to two different husbands and one having severe bipolar disorder. And then also as a mental health professional that specializes in relationships. There's three things that I know that I want you to know. So hang with me. I'm Judy Herman, the author of Beyond Messy Relationships. So the story is in here and also some psychological insights and spiritual wisdom along the way. But what I want to share with you, three things. Number one, and it goes against the grain of what most of us believe. I believe in my heart of hearts, yes, as mental health professionals, we learn how to diagnose people and get them the help that they need. But it's my belief that labels and diagnostic codes are unrealistic and they minimize our humanity. In fact, they just give us a little teeny portion of the bigger picture of who that person really is. So that's one thing. And we are so good at it, right? There's a lot of folks that are talking about how to get beyond messy relationships, how to get out of a toxic relationship, and how to define whether or not your spouse is a narcissist and whether they have a certain mental illness, an issue, or whether it's character development, and so on and so forth. And all those things might be important, right? But as far as your focus, your single focus on those things are not going to get you beyond the messy relationship and into your authentic life. And they just minimize, they keep us kind of in this loop. And then, but so the knowledge that we gain, and sometimes we learn these things and then we use it against our partner and call them names. And that's not what healing is all about. That's not what your authentic self is all about. So number one, labels and diagnostic codes are unrealistic in describing our whole humanity and this journey that we're on. And number two, understanding the basics of neuroscience and generational systems motivate clients in my counseling, and also they motivate audiences for folks that I speak to for keynote addresses and workshops. Yes, understanding some basic neuroscience and understanding that no, none of us are alone in our struggle. We all have struggles. And you know what? To realize it's not just me, but likely we've been groomed over many years. Likely it's from many generations back and all of that. So it's so very important to understand these pieces. And then with that understanding, we can gain some awareness, and then we have some choices to move beyond the messy relationships. Number three, it's not selfish to care for yourself. You are the only one who can care for you, because you are the only one that has been blessed with this beautiful gift of life, right? Caring for yourself and doing your own work is a full-time job. What do I hear in counseling? And also what I've struggled with in my own personal life, trying to manage folks and making sure that they are on the right track. I get it. When we're mothers and we got this little newborn to nurture, and they turn into toddlers and then to children and then to teenagers and then grown adults. Well, we need to know where our job stops as a mom, because we've raised our kids, right? And we cannot do the work of another human being, especially when they're adults, right? And you especially can't do that for your spouse. You cannot do the work of your spouse. You can only do it for you, and that's a full-time job. So, three things I've learned: 40 years of marriage, two different husbands, one with a very severe mental illness. Number one, labels and diagnostic codes are unrealistic. Number two, understanding of basic neuroscience and generational systems give you some power and realizing it's not just you. And then number three, it's just not selfish. Don't let anybody fool you in telling you it's selfish to care for yourself. Get a massage, make your appointment for your therapist, right? Call a coach, invest in you. I'm Judy Herman, and I love working with executive women who have progressed in their professional and their personal lives. And it's caused this rift in their marriages, and they just don't have any place else to talk about this. So I am so excited. And if you're in that category, please reach out and contact me. And you can reach me, Judy at judycounselor.com. And here's what I'd love for you to do. Especially if you're in the United States, you can order your own author-signed copy of Beyond Messy Relationships. And it is endorsed by Harvell Hendricks and Helen LaKelly Hunt. They are the founders of Imago Therapy. So it is filled with concepts from Imago Therapy and also the Gottman method. And the Gottmans are named, anybody who writes a book on marriage, they usually quote their research because it is so extensive and longitudinal. But this is not just a book about research. This is like my story, my intense and dramatic story. But I show up as a therapist at the beginning of each of the chapters. So as you read it, you're going to also tune into your own life, and you're going to see pieces that you identify with. They may not be exact, but it's like, it's not about me. It's not about my story, but my story illustrating something much more universal. And you'll know that you're not alone, and you'll have some tools with which to move forward. So you can get an author-signed copy. And if you're outside of the US, then you can order wherever books are sold, in both in Kindle and Audible, and also print version. But also, if you're looking for a speaker, go to judyspeaker.com. And then if you just want a taste of what this book is all about, and you just want the first 3 chapters, you can order that, or you can actually download that for free from my website, judycounselor.com. The main thing is that you realize, number one, you're not alone, and you are a person who is worthy of dignity, love, and respect. Care for you, and realize if you're stuck in a messy relationship, you have what it takes to get beyond that and to live your authentic life, because you're so worth it. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye-bye.